Hey everybody, this is Smashing Game Time. Welcome back. We are three brothers who talk about the release windows of gaming's yesteryear. I am Nick. I am your host, Nick. Down to my bottom left is one of our wonderful co-hosts. That is Jacob, aka Jakey.
AKA Boy, AKA Kaufman. Yeah.
Hey, Jake.
Keyword there is boy.
Boy.
Not with an I. I'm not a piece of shit.
And then to my left is his twin. Yes, if you didn't know it, they are twins. They don't look it, but they are twins. His name is Josh. He's also been called Joshua. He's always been called Boy. Hey, Josh.
A fun fact for Nick, he ate his twin. So that's why he looks 10 times
no,
heavier.
You know, none of the public knows.
This is some horse shit. This has been a running gag.
Secret's out.
I never ate any motherfuckers. I am not Army Hammer.
Well, yeah,
I don't eat people.
You ate the evidence, so no one can prove you that you didn't.
Motherfucker.
So.
This is gonna be some malignant shit where like one day some motherfucker's gonna do the wrong thing. My malignant twin who's like attached to my scrotum is gonna wake up and he's just gonna start slashing motherfuckers.
You don't even know what malignant means.
I'll look it up. After the show. Hey everybody, we are doing 2011 Q1 today. That's right, 2011. What a year it was. You remember 2011, don't you? I hardly do.
I don't. What is 2011?
And then later on, we're going to be doing a quiz. I don't know what the quiz is about. Josh made it, so it is going to be a super surprise quiz. Josh, can we have a preview of what the quiz is?
I hope you know your early 2011s.
Motherfucker, I don't. You know
I don't know anything.
Okay, guys, it's going to be based on what we're talking about today. So hopefully you did your homework. How about that?
Oh, God.
No, I don't pay attention to anything. I'm just here.
I'm so fucked. So then... Before we get into it, though, just a reminder, we are a Trident Network podcast, a great family of podcasts. Check them out if you haven't. Great folks. Great to be a part of them. Also, we are available anywhere that you get your podcast. Like and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We could use some more of those. Leave 5 stars. If you leave 4, I'll think that you got confused. But we do appreciate all the stars that we get. Guys, it's been a long 2 weeks. We took last week off because... July 4th holiday, and we just couldn't line it up. What's everybody been up to?
Well, now that you ask, I've been dying for you to ask me this. But start a new job. There's that. I work remote, so that's cool. You know, I'm home
you work
all
a
the time
remote
now. I work remote.
Two.
Good news, big news that came out today, actually. Multiverses open beta comes out the 26th, so that's awesome. Everyone's been dying to play that. Just TFT and Brawlhalla, that's all I got.
I love that the Brawlhalla scum are going to multiverses.
They are. A lot of it. It's kind of annoying. The
Brawlhalla trash is like, we are annoyed with our game. Let's go play another game that we're probably going to bitch about that isn't balanced at all.
What's going on is that like they announced that $100,000 tournament over in Vegas later in August. I think it's going to be at Evo, and the game isn't even out yet. And people are like, "Oh shit, we need to get on top of this."
That's how you get them excited.
And the top 32 teams come home with cash. Like I think 32 come home with like $2,700.
I'm thinking we need to start practicing. I'd like to come home with some money.
I'll main Shaggy. I will main Shaggy. You guys main whoever else. Whatever the other OP characters are right now.
Jake. Oh, Velma.
Is Velma OP?
Is very OP. Very OP. Like, she's a great support.
Wait, is she going to get banned, though, before the tourney?
No, she's not a banned. She's not going to get
Well,
banned.
I'm saying, is she going to be? Not, is she?
No. Like the only fighting game I've ever seen someone like ban a character was Meta Knight in Super Smash Brothers.
He was, but that was Brawl, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was dirty in Brawl. Like his movement, like he was very fluid.
And that was before they could like patch things.
Well, no, they could patch it that time. They were just very lazy. But it was Nintendo. They're like, patch things.
Patch it. You're lucky we let you have a fucking tournament, you bitches. Shut the fuck up.
They contemplated removing patching up in the Switch. They're like, no, we got to stay at least somewhat modern with everybody. So I guess we'll make a couple patches. Which really, we're not going to let you play your game for 30 minutes as you sit there, twiddle your thumbs, and we're not going to actually do anything.
So Smash and Brawlhalla players are all migrating towards multiverses.
Well, it's because Nintendo's like the esports side of it. No, we don't do that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so there was the tournament recently, and a well-known character, or well-known pro player named Hungrybox,
Great
known for
name.
his Jigglypuff. He placed, I think, 5th or whatever in a tournament recently, and it was only paid $75.
Oof.
You know,
Yeah, he's like, I need a new game. This is horseshit.
you know they say if you're not starving, you're not playing Smash Brothers professionally.
And like, he doesn't really need the esport. He's already popular on Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff. So
yeah,
he
but if
doesn't
I'm
really
gonna-
need to play competitively.
Yeah, but if you're gonna spend money to go to a tournament and then only make $75, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna go play something
Well,
else.
he's probably not spending a dime going to a tournament. It's his organization that's paying for it.
And then they
Okay,
get
if I was his organization, guess what? You're gonna learn a new game, motherfucker. We need money.
yeah, they see those winnings. They're like, hey, dude, you need to play another fucking game. This Smash Brothers shit ain't cutting it. It's cute.
So like, a lot of people are going to this tournament. Hell, even Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox is going to this tournament, and he's known for picking up any fighting game and being fucking good at it.
He was the guy, if I remember correctly, is he the one who played like Street Fighter 4 for like only like a month and like won one of their major tournaments?
I'm not sure if he played Street Fighter, but I know he played Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
and
they Mortal Kombat.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
His name sounds familiar. I think I saw like a documentary talking about fighting games, and it just brought him up, and they talked about how he played one game for like not even a month and came in and like won a major tournament.
So what makes him stand out is that he's a furry.
I'm sold.
Here, the truth had to come out.
He's a furry and he's bisexual. So like he's got the whole combination of everything.
You had
And
me at
he's
furry.
good
You
at
had me
games.
at furry. And so he plays in his persona.
So he has played like with the helmet on or whatever, but he's usually, when he goes to places, if he doesn't have his whole get up, he's got like the fox ears and a tail. But yeah, and he's fucking good at games.
I was running a marathon. I'm pretty sure I got passed by a furry one time. It was infuriating.
Not
I'm
the-
out.
Josh, what have you been up to?
Dude, I've been working, and I've been working, and I've been working, and I actually haven't been playing Escape from Tarkov since they wiped.
See,
Like, religiously.
I have an issue with Tarkov because
It's a horror game.
everyone who talks about it like sings praise on it. It's not 1.0 yet, is it?
No, it's never going to be out of beta.
And
Literally, even on their title screen, it still says beta testing.
So everyone like high praise for it. They love it. Good. Like I'm glad you guys are getting your $40 worth. But
120 or something.
well, yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean
depending on what
after
you play.
everything. But like, what's the point when all your shit is constantly getting wiped? Like, what are you keeping? Are there skins? Like, what is
No.
yours? What is
Well, okay,
what
so
is
what-
yours? The
Time out.
experience?
Same could be said with Rust, though, if you think about it. But that should.
Hey, I
like,
love
wipes-
Rust, but
But see, that's what I'm
it's-
saying though. It can be asked the same question.
So the game, it's basically love to hate. You love to hate it. It's a double-edged sword.
Yes,
But
and
this
honestly,
fucking game.
don't get me wrong. At this point, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. It's never gonna finish, and if it does, by the time it does truly finish, they'll already have a new game out. Or not that. Well, they probably will because they're working on the arena stuff. But there will be a new game out that will surpass it, and no one will ever talk about Tarkov again until it's like, man, remember Tarkov? Remember how we spent like $120 the Edge of Darkness edition to get all this extra pre-order stuff, and now we don't get anything extra except for our inventory maxed out at the beginning?
It's the fact that they wipe everything constantly, and that you know what that sequel would be called. So like they'd be 1.0ing Escape from Tarkov right as they're starting to work on getting back into Tarkov. We have to go back to Tarkov, Kate. We have to go back.
Well,
So there's already a competitive game coming out. It's called Marauder. They just had their big, I guess technically it's big beta testing a couple months ago, and it's a space. Like, what would happen if we were in space during like the end of World War II into Cold War type situations? And it's a lot of like when I played it, I couldn't stop playing it. I was so upset when it ended. It was so good.
I think I saw Shroud playing that. I think there was like a lot of people playing
Like obviously it's a beta game, so like there were some issues with it, but compared to what I've dealt with Escape from Tarkov, it was really good. I highly recommend, if you do not know what I'm talking about, look it up. It looks really good. It plays really good so far.
So I understand that there's missions and stuff on Tarkov, but
Quest,
is
yes.
there, yeah, is there a way you can? Is there like a time where there's no more quests, like you beat the game?
Oh yeah, no, there's like so the end game for majority of the community is getting the God, I forget the name of it now. It's like the last what they call secure containers, which means you can put items in there and you won't lose them if you die. But it's also known as putting it in your ass. That's because that's literally what you're doing. You're literally shoving these items in your ass. They've gotten better about limiting items. Like you can't put like certain magazines, and you can't put guns, can't put armor or anything like that. But the end game really
It's a
is
wide
you're
asshole
trying
if
to
you
get this-
could.
Yeah, but there's some quests on there that are really difficult. Like my least favorite one is Shooter Board in Heaven. You have to play every single map, and you have to get like a certain amount of kills from like a certain amount of headshot kills from a certain distance. It is difficult. It's not like a super hard, like you'll never get it done. It's just a very long task. It requires you to be patient and to try over and over again.
I'm still waiting for you guys to actually escape Tarkov. I don't think it's going to happen.
It
I-
never
Never.
happens. You build. I mean, literally, you literally. The game is called Escape from Tarkov, and you build a hideout in Tarkov. Like, it's.
I don't think they're getting out of Tarkov. I think they're there to stay.
Dude, it's a horror game. It's a scary game. That's all I know.
Oh, it can be very scary. I can't tell how many times like a scab or somebody just appeared right next to me and scared the shit out of me.
Anything else, Josh?
Working on reviews. I'm trying to help Mark with the backlog. So,
Backlog's getting pretty crazy, and there's a bunch of lazy shits on the team, myself included.
well, you have an excuse. I've just been knocking them out 2 at a time, and I actually owe him 2 of them. I actually owed him one 2 days ago and one today. But I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get it to you before the end of the week. But I don't know anymore. It's too much.
I got to get my Up at Noon review to him. I got through the first 4 worlds. Like I'm kind of like I think I've seen it all. I think I can sit down and write this review, but I kind of like because there are 5 more worlds, and I think there's enough variation where like I'm kind of feeling like I at least have to get to the halfway point.
No, that makes sense.
But I'm close. So I've been playing Up at Noon. I was just checking my Game Pass app to like remind myself what I played, and they just added Power Wash Simulator.
I already have it.
Oh my god, I might have to play that. I also saw they added Escape Academy, which is the new.
That's one you told me about the other day.
Yeah, it's you are at a college. The college is basically a college for escape rooms. It's just a bunch of escape rooms, so I think I'm going to try that out. But I did play Infernax the other night, the one that you reviewed.
It's fun, isn't it?
Your review that popped off, and it's actually pretty fun. I didn't realize it was going to be as open world as it was.
I wasn't expecting it either. It reminds me of like a very like early Castlevania.
I played and there are side quests, and I played a side quest where I had to clear out a boss enemy in a barn, and he was the kind of enemy that like summons zombies, and like it's very difficult because he keeps summoning them, and he like stays back, but you basically have to clear the horde in front of you to try and get to him before he disappears. And the whole time I'm fighting him, I'm like, this is going to become a common enemy, isn't it? I have a feeling this is going to be annoying. So I played like the first 40 minutes of that. I still need to chase down that beast that breaks through the gate. Like I'm still working on chasing him down, but I think I accidentally went into a dungeon I wasn't supposed to early. But it's
You climbed when you got down past the bridge. You climbed up and went into the first dungeon.
yeah, and it's letting me like normally there'd be like some progress issues, like there'd be a jump you couldn't make, or there'd be like a wall you couldn't break. But it's just I'm just still going, and I'm like
You
I'm
can
gonna,
go. Yeah, you can go in there to a certain extent. I think actually you can clear that whole first dungeon and move on to the next one. So like each dungeon unlocks basically a new ability, and that one I think you don't need anything extra to get through.
So I've been playing that. I also booted up LA Noire 2 nights ago and played through. I think I played through the first because you rise up the ranks and get on different beats. I think I beat the first beat, and now I'm part of the traffic squad. We do traffic crime, car crime. Here we come. We're gonna get you fuckers. Game still looks great. I'm very bad at reading these video game characters and knowing when to doubt them, but it feels like LA. Well, on my recent trip to LA, like the reason I booted it up, I wanted to compare it. I wanted to see, now that I've been there, would I know, like if I'm on this street, would I be like, oh my god, I was on that street? It hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for it to happen.
Well, I mean, what 70-year difference?
Yeah, but you know what? Street concrete doesn't change, Josh. Concrete stays. The concrete in this city's been bad for years, kid. Stick with me.
Is that one of the lines?
No, that was a Nick Kaufman original.
Okay.
Also played Last Call BBS. That is a what is that? Zachatronics. That's their last game. Or supposed last game. We'll see if they come back. But basically, it's your BBS computer. You download games. You play it like you're playing on a computer that you were gifted. You have a limit of how many games you can download a day. It's just like owning a computer. The one game I was playing is a dungeon game where it's like Minesweeper, but you're creating a dungeon. You're drawing the lines. You have rules. So like, if there's an enemy, the rule for the enemy is that the enemy has to have 3 walls around them and then an opening. It's tough.
It just sounds like a slightly more exciting version of PC Builder Simulator.
So I've heard the Monster Minesweeper game. I've heard of the comparisons to Minesweeper, but I think it's more closer to Sudoku because it gives you numbers on the sides like, hey, in this line, this is the amount of walls that can be on this line, and you have it down and you have it across. So it kind of reminds me of Sudoku. Sudoku. It's one of those words that gets me up. It's one of those words that trips me up. And then been playing a lot of Among Us. A lot of fun, a lot of the Among Us, a lot of the Fortnite, the usual stuff you hear from me. Not so much on the Iron Harvest, taking a break for right now. Do have an interview with a buddy that works for King Art Games that I want to do here in the next few weeks. Otherwise, just got to work on some writing stuff. Got a bit of the writer's block, but it'll go away eventually.
I played a little Fortnite recently. It was okay. I do like the no build. I wish they had competitive no build. They don't.
I'm sure they'll do it from time to time.
Maybe because I remember reading some article that Ninja doesn't think that's a good idea because it's going to, I guess, separate the
player base.
players. Yeah.
What? Ninja wouldn't be good without building? Who would have known?
No, it's not that. It's
Sweaty boy needs to sweat to win.
He can't rely on his aiming skills, so he has to outbuild while his buddies shoot? No.
We were going to talk some Thor, but Jake hasn't seen Thor, so we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
So are you guys ready to talk some 2011?
Let's do it.
2011 Q1. All right, so first up here we have January 25th, Dead Space 2. For those wondering, yes, this is the Dead Space that your mom would not like. This was the game with a very clever marketing. Hey, your mom won't like Dead Space, and they had people's moms playing it. We talked about the first Dead Space on a previous episode of the show. Third person, over the shoulder survival horror on a spaceship with aliens that kind of look like a mix of the things from Hellraiser, the Xenobites from Hellraiser, and then the aliens from Alien. I think this is the point where it got more action based, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this takes place after the first one. It's been a few years. Isaac did escape, but people think he's crazy because obviously he destroyed all the evidence that was there from the first one. So it's kind of like, well, shit, what happened? They just assume he's crazy. They lock him up, and while they're at it, they're like, hey, that looks like a cool monolith. Let's bring it back with us. And basically rinse and repeat, but this time not just on a spaceship, but on a space colony.
When are these space colonies going to learn not to mess with monoliths?
Oh, never.
Now with this one, isn't this the one where now he's kind of like, oh, I have to take them home or something like that?
Well, this is this is the one where the religious cult praises it, and they're trying to kill Isaac because they think Isaac's the bringer of death to their religion, to the necromorphs.
When in reality, it's the aliens that are killing them.
Yes.
Now this is also the one where you get a needle in the eye, and that's a playable moment. And if it pops up, I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna look away.
No, yeah, I believe I purposely avoided it with this video, even though it's probably one of the most memorable moments of this game. This one just definitely brought a lot more action. It was still scary. It still had the horror element in it, but this did bring a little more action to the series. Third one is where you pretty much lost almost a majority of your horror, and it went almost straight. It's almost like it did the Resident Evil 5. where it was almost more action than horror, and it's kind of like, why?
Only thing I remember about 3 is there was like some guitar music. I was like, yeah, we're killing aliens, kicking ass.
I just remember the ending going, we're gonna stop it at this. This is where we stop it.
This is where you guys are edging me right now. Why are we stopping?
Why'd we stop here? Like, it's such a cliffhanger, and the fact that they're remaking it, the series, it's like, well, don't get me wrong, which I'm a big fan of it because it looks good, what we've seen. But I want to know what happens. I'm tired of being tickled around and going, well, because our sequels suck so bad, we couldn't keep the formula going. We're just gonna redo it.
Hey, at this point, companies with EA were still making games, so I give it credit.
True. That's true. No, this one's still good. Just like it continues the story. There's a lot more variation of enemies and
Death variations too, right?
a bunch of different death variations. Yeah.
There were no spoilers in the like. If you put the titles of the levels next to each other on this one, there was nothing. Sorry, guys. No message.
Darn.
No message for the gamers with a watchful eye. Sorry, you guys.
But there was DLC.
Oh man, story DLC. I'm closing that out. Don't make me sad. It doesn't happen anymore. Like,
No.
okay, so I mean the Cuphead DLC, but nothing else. Nothing else. Up next, February 22nd, Bulletstorm from People Can Fly. This was
And Epic Games.
Yes, Epic Games. I guess they had a hand in this.
Yeah, they dabbled with it, but People Can Fly are the main
be
ones.
real. Let's be real about this game. The game was It was a quick play. The only reason people got it was for that demo.
Oh yeah, so it had a disc that gave you access to the beta for Gears of War 3, which was a lot of fun. You know what, Jake? I think you're sleeping on this game. I think this game was ahead of its time because I think this was the precursor for Doom 2016. Like people saw how like this is fast paced, like you're racking up score, you're racking up combos, you're moving. This guy's not doing a very good job. I think this is his first time ever playing the game. Is this Deluxe345? Deluxe back on the stream. Welcome back, Deluxe.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of videos that I look up for like just original gameplay, and either they're really shitty or it was Deluxe. I'm like, no, we're gonna have to throw in Deluxe a couple of times because he has great videos. He doesn't comment. They're in great quality as far as for that year. It looks. I mean, come on.
Deluxe is playing that
doesn't
SEO
comment.
game. He's just like, you know what? If I play enough games, I'll end up on the search engine. Whatever. Fuck it.
How many subs does he have?
We'll look it up after the show. But yeah, I think
I'm
if you look at this game, there's speed. You're pulling together combos. You're switching weapons on the fly. It that sounds a lot like Doom 2016 to me.
I mean, it just did a lot of things different too. You had the cool whip with the different abilities. Enemy variation was really great. I mean, yes, it's not a game that everybody remembers. Well, let's not forget, here in a few years, they actually released the HD version that had Duke Nukem.
I forgot Duke
Surprise
Nukem was in
cameo.
that. I'm kind of annoyed with that now.
And it was like completely different. It was like Duke Nukem talking. He'd be like confused because they'll be talking to the main character. I can't remember his name in this one. It's
It doesn't matter. He's an action
anyway,
hero.
I think it's Grayson. Anyway, and he'd be like, Grayson, and he'd be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Okay.
It's stupidly funny.
You've won me back. For those who aren't watching the video, this is a first-person shooter. It's a combo chainer. Just think Doom 2016. If you've been playing Neon White, it's kind of fast like that, but it's more action heavy. More dude. It's a dude bro shooter. It's a dude bro.
I would say it's Duke Nukem meets Doom.
Yeah. That's fair.
Very much so.
I think Duke Nukem's like an homage to Doom, but yeah, it was fine. It's fine. Take a shot every time Nick says fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be drunk by the end of this episode. So
Anything else to add to Bulletstorm, gentlemen?
No, just give it. I mean, I'm not saying like it's a bad game. Definitely give it a try. But yeah, I would say the reason everybody pre-ordered it and bought it was for the beta, for sure.
That Gears 3 beta was good. They gave you the one map, or no, they gave you the two map, the football one and the one in the sand. No, I think they gave you the grocery store one too. Those Gears 3 maps were really great.
I'd say it's most memorable.
You say what,
I
Jake?
looked them up. I looked up Deluxe. He's almost at 100,000 subs.
Oh, good for him. Deluxe, hey, if you ever want to collab, man, we're here for
Dude,
you.
his description. No, hey, what's up, guys? Intros. No annoying commentaries. No stupid selfie thumbnails. No bullshit. Just kidding.
Deluxe.
Deluxe is my man.
I'm gonna DM this man. He's my new favorite hero. We're dedicating this episode to Deluxe.
145 million views.
We'll put it in the show notes for you guys so you can check them out.
I'm dedicating this episode to Deluxe. Deluxe345. We love you. All right, up next, March 8th, Dragon Age 2 from Infinity Ward. This is your good old, this is your good old RPGs. Oh wait, I gotta hit play on the video.
How about, did you say Infinity Ward?
Did I say Infinity Ward? I'm sorry, I meant
You did.
BioWare. I meant BioWare.
You would be like, what? They didn't do a Call of Duty this year? What's going on?
My big brain dump. This is from BioWare, the people who brought you hits such as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect and Jade Empire, which, by the way, why haven't we gotten a revisitation of Jade Empire?
I think you can actually play that on your phone too.
I think you're right.
I think it was Xbox One when it comes out.
No,
So-
it's just Xbox. But didn't they have a?
Well, it was Xbox, but
It was just Xbox.
yeah. But then
In
they
a
have the
world-
re-release.
In a world where Ghost of Tsushima is moving units, why can't you bring back Jade Empire?
That
Why
was
can't
such
you
a
do
good
it?
game too.
It's so good. The different fighting styles, all the side quests. The side characters are more interesting than some of the Mass Effect characters. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it was Mass Effect before Mass Effect was Mass Effect.
This
I mean,
is true.
basically, it was KOTOR, just not set in the the Star Wars world. So
And then Dragon Age, I don't get these Dragon Age dorks. I played 10 minutes of Inquisition and I was like, this is okay. I'm going to go play Witcher 3.
I enjoyed Origins more than I did Inquisition. I didn't really play enough Dragon Age 2 to be like, oh yeah, man, this like don't get me wrong, this is the one I think was hyped the most of all of them.
Yeah, I think this was the better one, apparently.
Well, and just watching it looks great. It looks fine. Combat looks okay. Well, I say that and he was struggling moving through that ice demon right there. But I mean, I don't know. I always felt like you were either a Dragon Age kid or you were an Oblivion kid, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Or
I tried
Skyrim,
Dragon
the other
Age.
one.
I tried
Oh,
Dragon
basically
Age.
Elder Scrolls.
It was like I didn't really find it. I found it like it was like old gameplay, old style.
But the
I don't know.
the other crazy thing about it was this was at a time where, because this comes out early 2011, and I almost said Infinity Ward again. BioWare puts out Mass Effect 2 in 2010, and then Mass Effect 3 is 2013, and then they do Inquisition either 2014 or 2015. So like they were easily balancing these two series perfectly well. And then something after Mass Effect 3 and Inquisition, like just I think they had some departures of like some executives and things went to shit. I don't know. I forget when I think the EA purchase was 2009, so sometime after the first Mass Effect and the first Dragon Age. And like, but you still see like these are still fine. Like I'm sure these games were being worked on before the purchase. And then you start to see 3 fumble a little bit, and then Inquisition comes out, and I think Inquisition was fine, and people loved it. And then BioWare, what have you done for me lately since Inquisition? Because it's not a damn thing.
Andromeda.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, I know.
Again, I ask BioWare, what have you done for me lately?
I remember when Andromeda came out for the first time. Like even made news like how awful the animation was, the graphics.
Oh, the eyeballs. I remember.
Eyes, yeah.
I was living in North Carolina, and I remember I was listening to a podcast. I was in the bathroom, and I just remember them shitting on Andromeda. I was like, man, someone at BioWare is having a bad day right now.
No, I would say this is the age where, we're at least getting consistency, because with this one, as well as with the Mass Effect series, you were able to import all your decisions you did from the past one. That would kind of form the background. So like we're in the era of, okay, BioWare, you're doing good. Just you stay at this pace, and you might actually, be able to topple some of the bigger, heavier hitters.
But yeah, then you get to Mass Effect 3 and you see that all those decisions you made across the first 2 games really didn't mean a thing. they didn't really change anything for you. So you really started to see, because that was their bread and butter. That was their, hey guys, we're carrying decisions across the series. This is our thing. No one else is doing this right now. And then you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, yeah, no one's
changed the
doing it.
color.
Neither are you guys.
Well, and I hope, and I really do hope with 4, they fix it. Not talking about Andromeda. I'm talking about the one coming back out that's hinted that Shepard will be back and that we'll have, what's her name? The Asari.
Oh, I forget her name.
But we're supposed to get them 2 back, and it's going to be set in the future. So it's like I'm hoping with all this they'll fix that. Like I said, the BioWare did such a good job to an extent. Like there's enough content there that you can come up with your own theories, and it makes the game sound so much better. And I know there's one for Dragon Age, for it's a whole trilogy. I don't know it exactly off the top of my head. I just know there is one that makes it sound really good and compelling. And it's the same thing with Mass Effect. They have this huge theory, and it's like, oh my god, you have to give them credit. Where yes, their endings may not stick with you, and it might leave a sour taste. But there's so much lore and content there, it makes you go, fuck, was that what they're trying to do?
I'm not giving them any credit until 4 comes out and blows our doors off.
Everything shits. Everything shits.
If 4 fails, I could see the next Dragon Age getting canned, and then BioWare getting well, at least one of their offices getting canned. I could see them downsizing drastically. It's just the EA cookbook, baby. I'm sorry, you're in the kitchen with the EA cookbook. Someone's getting shut down.
I mean, look what I mean. It's different companies or whatever, but God of War, it took them a while to come out with a 4th game, and it was amazing. So maybe they know their mistakes, and they'll make a good game.
Jakey boy, I'm gonna call a timeout on the field. They were coming off of, so they did God of War 3, and then they did a one-off with God of War Ascension. Terrible. Great marketing, though. They had that one song by the one girl who sings Lights, Ellie Goulding, that's her name. Amazing song. I don't think we're looking at a same situation here, because what is that? Sony Santa Monica that does God of War?
Yeah.
They were fine. They had one bad thing. BioWare has been nothing but bad since what, 2013? It'll be 10 years next year. 10 years of bad. Like if you put together a greatest hits of BioWare, if you put together an album of games, you wouldn't put out anything from the last 10 years.
I'm just saying on the Mass Effect. So yeah, 3 was I mean, they had DLC to kind of fix it, whatever. But then they had Andromeda, which was, a turd. Maybe they learned from that and they'll do better.
But with EA pulling the strings, I don't think so.
I would say like this: the 2 most cursed companies right now, and there's a reason for it, is EA and Ubisoft. Look what Ubisoft is doing to themselves.
NFTs.
I mean, literally, not only have they shut themselves in both feet, but they are working up their legs right now. They're not going to be able to walk at the rate they're going.
Aren't the kids in the NFTs, you guys? That's what the gamers want. They want the NFTs.
Well, NFTs, you've got them removing content from Steam.
I saw that. They're like, so you can't download your DLC for like, was it Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 and some other games and
Liberation, basically a bunch of them, yeah. And like they had a backtrack because so many people were complaining about it. Like, oh, let's just clarify. You can play the games. It's the DLC and content and multiplayer that you just won't play. You can't do anything with.
Didn't anyone see like the backlash Sony was getting for trying to shut down the PlayStation 3 storefront or the PlayStation PS Vita? Like, didn't anyone like see like, oh, they backtrack because people didn't like that? All right, well let's push these out.
Well, Ubisoft saw it and they're like, you pussies, come here. We'll do it. We'll do it right. Let's show you how to do it.
Ubisoft was like, we're not in the news. We need to.
They're just trying to have their own launcher, but they don't understand that Steam is the go-to launcher for everything. And
I mean, I'm all about there being multiple launchers, but if you're shit, and your launcher's not going to last. Up next, March 15th, Homefront.
Good one.
Josh, who did Homefront? I'm forgetting.
It's Chaos Studios. KAOS.
So I'm gonna nominate Homefront for a special award that you maybe have seen once or twice over the last 10 years. I'm going to give it the Mirror's Edge Award. And you're like, Nick, what's the Mirror's Edge Award? The Mirror's Edge Award is, so for those who don't know, Mirror's Edge is a great first-person like parkour game published by EA. I forget who developed it. I think it might have been DICE or somebody. And that was a game where people were like, this is great, we want a sequel. And EA's like, oh, we don't know if you want a sequel. Really? And they're like, do we want a sequel? And EA's like, are you sure? Like, yeah, we want a sequel. And EA's like, okay, we'll do a sequel. And they did a sequel and nobody fucking bought it. That's what happened with Homefront. Homefront, people wanted a sequel. Yeah, this is great. We want a sequel. For those who don't know, Homefront's a first-person military shooter. I think, isn't it Russia or North Korea you're fighting?
It is the United Korean. What's it called?
It's something made up. So
Yeah.
this is a great game. People were like, oh, we love this. Like, make us another one. And the company was like, are you sure? Like, yes, we want another one. The company's like, guys, come on, are you sure? And they're like, yes, come on. You guys are great. Do it again. So they did it again. It sucked. But either way, nobody bought it.
Yeah. So the first one was fantastic.
Time out.
Campaign
Was that a
great.
full throttle? Was that a full throttle machine that man just walked by? Like a
Pretty
full
sure it
throttle,
was.
like the energy
Yeah.
drink?
I'm pretty sure it was. So the campaign was great. The multiplayer was great. Like it was like they like for at the time of you were known to either have a really great campaign or really great multiplayer. They did great on both. It was fantastic. Enemy variation, storyline was great. Multiplayer, there's a ton of DLC. It was, I mean, overall, like it was such a fantastic game. And then the sequel came out and just shat all over it.
The sequel was awful. Like I'm looking at this, we're watching the video right now. The level design looks great. They're in a gas station. There's military equipment everywhere. A car just pulled up. The firing seems realistic. It doesn't seem like cartoony, kind of like how Call of Duty gets every once in a while. It does have that. It does have that annoying thing from shooters of the time where you heal just by hiding, which I do all the time. You know, I stab myself and then I slither away into the corner, and I'm like, oh, the screen needs to stop being red, and I can get up.
I call it the Call of Duty effect, where you play on the hardest mode and just lay in a corner and hope to God a grenade doesn't get tossed at you.
Was Call of Duty always self-rejuvenating health, or did that not start
there was
until?
times there was med packs. I think it was like around Call of Duty Modern Warfare is when they started introducing that.
Because Halo was the shooter that modernized that, right?
They modernized it, but as far as like introducing like a truly like every shooter you sit in a corner and wait until your red disappears, it's probably more Call of Duty. But Halo is the one that like
because you had the shields.
Yeah,
and then so like Microsoft's games were like the forefront of that because Halo boop 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 boop, and then Gears of War brought it, kept doing it in 2006, and that's been their thing. Did Judgment try to do a health packs? I feel like Judgment tried to do health packs. Gears of War Judgment.
We don't talk about Judgment.
I
think you might be right.
I think Gears Judgment they're like, we're gonna get experimental. You guys like health packs?
Well, they're the reason why they're the stepchild of the series.
You guys like health packs? You guys want a sexy health pack? I have nothing else to say about Homefront. Anyone got anything to say? Jake's got a migraine. We're moving on.
No more. We don't talk about Judgment here. This is a no judgment zone.
All right, this has been a very shooter-heavy episode. I've got one more shooter for you guys. March 22nd. Hide your motherboards. We don't want to melt it. This is Crysis 2, boys and girls.
I mean, the game just melts everything, not just your motherboard. I mean, this is probably why your Discord crashes, Nick.
For those who don't know what Crysis is, Crysis, yet another series published by EA, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
And the first one was like a like graphics juggernaut that like people were like, oh my god! Like first one was what, 2009, 2008, somewhere in that window.
Something like that, yeah.
And it looked great. And like looking at the sequel, this also looks beautiful. And I think, don't people still try to clock their PCs out with the Crysis series?
Crysis. Yeah, well, Crysis 1 particularly, because that's the one that like, so if your computer wasn't good enough, people made fun of you for it. Especially if you could not run Crysis at a decent rate, people made fun of you for it. Even to this day, if you still cannot run it,
still, if your computer.
I'm not talking about like HD either. I'm talking about like the original. If your computer can't handle the original, you might as well just get out and not be a PC gamer.
So wait, Josh, can my computer run the first Crysis?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought I was going to be laughed out at Computer Club next time.
You're still shit.
I believe originally you can run yours almost at the highest settings. I'd have to see what your specs are. Mine can surely do it, and I think Jake's can.
Could I have done it on the laptop?
No, hell no.
Oh,
I think you would have been able to run it, but it would not have been good graphics. Like it'd been like, at the time, fantastic graphics. Nowadays, you're fucking shit.
So I kind of lump Crysis in the same category with What's the series that Ubisoft does with the islands? Far Cry. Because wasn't the first Far Cry like a graphics juggernaut, and then like the rest of this, it's just kind of teetered off since then.
The time it was, but you don't see people going back and let's see if we can play Far Cry.
Let's play Far Cry 1.
Yeah, no, it's like let's go to Crisis. Yeah. So
when I think of Crisis, I just think of Crisis 3 and that song, that commercial that would play every damn day.
What was it?
It's called.
You should look up the song, Jake.
Look it up while we're talking about this.
So Crisis 2, did they add the crossbow or the bow?
It was 3.
3 added the bow.
Sharp dressed man.
Everybody better sharp dressed man. That's enough.
That was the song for Crisis 3.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I do remember that getting hella airplay.
Yeah.
And being on all something. Dazzle ladies crazy about a sharp dressed man.
Okay, so enough talking about the ads and stuff. Okay, so everybody's probably wondering right now, like, okay, what's different? Okay, you guys talk about graphics, talk about your ads. What makes this difference from the first one?
Yeah, what makes it different? Because I'm not seeing it.
So the first one, you're on an island, and it starts off with like you're going. I forget, it's maybe like the Koreans or Filipinos or something. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but they're like you're basically going in, and you're like your mission is like to find something and to stop the military, and then you find out that oh shit, there's aliens. Aliens have started their invasion of Earth, and this is set in New York City.
This one is?
Yeah, this one's set in New York City.
Jesus, what a fucking turn.
Yeah, 2023 actually.
Oh man, we're getting there.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So essentially, you wake up to this having this weird armor, like suit on. You don't know how you got it on. You find out that the character from the first one, Prophet, was basically dying, and he rather than like giving up the suit for the aliens to win, he basically gives it to you, and he's like, "You have my abilities, you have my memories. Win this war.
Go forth."
And essentially, you're going in. They're you got the military trying to capture you because they want your suit. And then you have them fighting aliens. So there's in between of fighting humans, fighting aliens, and there's a decent plot to it. But you got cool abilities. You can camouflage yourself, super strength, super defense, super speed. You're able to use your visor to pinpoint enemy locations, stealth, and all that. It's when you play it normally, it's a lot of action fun. When you play it on the hardest difficulty, I promise you that camouflage is going to be your best friend.
It's a shooter, baby.
It's a shooter.
It's a shooter.
Ammo is scarce.
Yeah. I've never been crazy. I don't know. I've fallen off of shooters. I just kind of feel like I don't need to shoot anything. There's enough there's enough shooting in the world. I don't need to add to it.
Fortnite.
Oh, you know what? Jake, with that attitude, get off this podcast. You guys ready for some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do some news.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news. All right, here we go.
We need some like crazy news, like
Jake. We have crazy. Have you not listened to the podcast? I have a crazy news thing, you asshole.
He never pays attention, Nick. We both know
Jake,
that.
go do us a favor. Go listen to a fucking episode.
Where's my merch?
We want merch, damn it.
Where's my pay?
There was never an agreement on pay, Jake. You know damn well. All right, January 6th to the 9th, International House of Pancakes. No, International Consumer Electronics Show 2011 held in Vegas. Josh, was there any cool doohickeys? I feel like this was the year of the fold, like the roll it up TV, but maybe I'm a few years off.
It was not, but you're close to what the big deal was there that year.
Was it a folded TV?
No, you're in the right realm of the area.
It's not 3D TVs, is it? I feel
it
like
is.
Oh
it
God!
This is when like all the major companies started to show like their stuff. Like they had the Mitsubishi 92-inch 3D TV, Toshiba with their free 4K 3D TV prototype glasses.
Wasn't this when Avatar came out?
Avatar's 2009, so they needed like the next, so like December 2009. So then they needed the next year to like put their shit together, and then 2011, beginning of 2011, they're like, look at our TVs. I'm excited about the new Avatar. I think it's going to be great because James Cameron and the number 2, and also James Cameron in movies with water tend to do great and be great. I'm not excited about it bringing up 3D in the conversation again.
So this is also the year where they brought in a lot of the 4G phones. So you had like the Samsung Infuse 4G, the HTC Thunderbolt, the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc, Motorola Click 2, the Motorola Droid Bionic.
I still don't trust 4G towers. I still think that they give you butt cancer.
Well, I mean, they do give you cancer.
For those who don't know if I'm joking or not, please, I'm joking. I don't believe that the number G'd towers do anything to you.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine if 4G gave you butt cancer, what does 5G give you?
5G takes it away. It's like Madden. Like Madden 2004 gave you cone vision. Madden 2005 took it away. February 26th, Nintendo 3DS makes newest handheld console, releases in Japan. This wasn't the new 3DS, was it? The new 3DS was still a few years off.
No, this is the
new one, yeah.
This is the new 3DS.
Ernie, come on, man. Yeah, I had the new 3DS for a little bit there. Cats, man, they're great. Moving on, March 11th, as a result of 2011 Tohoku earthquake, certain video games releases were canceled or postponed. Additionally, several servers used for internet gaming were shut down temporarily. I remember like this earthquake, and wasn't there a tsunami? There was a tsunami along with it, I believe.
Yep.
Those were scary times. Those were scary as hell. Were there any shutdowns that were specific, Josh?
Not really. It was kind of like a hodgepodge of just about everything. And of course, since a lot of the big major companies use a lot of outside resources in Japan, so it shut down a lot of things. I think actually because of it, Nintendo didn't release the 3DS to the States and to the UK as quickly as it should. And that's why you see a later release date for it.
Had to postpone it and all that.
Yeah.
Ernie,
because it was supposed to be about the same time as, like obviously there was going to be some time difference. It was going to be closer to the February date, because you'll see later on, actually, the next event, March 25th to the 31st, you see the 3DS release in America, Europe, and Australia. They said that originally it didn't impact the numbers, but it was kind of like once they had sold out, they really didn't have like the resources or time to manufacture more. So it was actually that time where it was kind of hard to find the 3DS.
Which is crazy to think about, because that thing sold like gangbusters. So you're like, wait, people had a hard time finding it?
Yeah, like not as bad as has been recently, like with the PS5 or the Xbox Series X and S. But it was still enough that, you could tell. But people also weren't complaining because they knew, like, hey, a lot of people died, and there's a lot of injuries and infrastructure issues after the tsunami and earthquake. So it was a little more lenient about it.
Sorry, I'm trying to block a cat from getting back up here. March 25th through the 31st, Nintendo releases in America, Europe, and Australia. They kind of you already alluded to that.
Well, that's why I moved on to the next event, but it was kind of alluded to that because of that. So
Gotcha. So that is the news. We have a meme of the week. Jake, what time is it?
Me
Time.
Did it just like completely skip out this time?
Jake, what time is
probably.
it? Oh,
Time.
he said it, and it just.
He said it, just couldn't hear because it went straight to
it didn't
the
carry
high
over.
pitch. Yeah.
All right, Jake, go ahead and explain. Go ahead and tell us what the meme is while I try to fight
the memes. Yeah, fight the cat.
Well, fixed fight of the cat. Go ahead, Jake.
I have two memes, but I'm not sure if you want to do the other one.
I only did the one.
Okay, finally I have a computer that plays Crysis 2, but I have two kids and no time to play it. Because back in the day, it was hard to play Crysis 2 because everyone was cheap.
Everybody still is cheap.
Great meme. I'm holding the mic up because the cat knocked over the mic stand.
The cat doesn't want this to happen.
Cat's like, podcast is canceled. All right, we're gonna take a quick fiber so I can fix this. But when we come back, we're gonna do a quiz that Josh made, and me and Jake are gonna take it, and whoever wins decides what game from this week Jake is gonna do a speed cap on next week.
All shitty games.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Bad.
All right, and we're back. All right, Josh has made a quiz about 2011. Jake and I are going to compete. I think the best way... Is it multiple choice, Josh?
It is not. It's going to be whoever guesses closer. We're going to do Price is Right rules.
Okay. All right, I like it. How many questions we got?
You got 5 questions.
All right, let's just get started then. Let's go into it. Let's get right into it. Quiz time.
All right,
It's probably like one for each game.
pretty much, yeah. All right, number 1. How much time is set in between Dead Space 1 and 2?
2 years.
Like 6 months.
Jake is the closest. It was 3 years.
Son of a
You
bitch.
pay attention, Nick.
All right, Jake 1, Nick 0. Moving on. Number 2. People Can Fly developed what game series before Bulletstorm?
Fuck.
4.
No, what? Just a series. What? I know this one's gonna be a little more difficult to guess, but
I it's off the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it.
I'll give you a hint. It's a popular drug. Type of drug.
Crackdown.
What?
Type of drug.
I don't know
Crack.
what it is, but I'm gonna say like haze or something.
Painkiller. I'm gonna give it to Nick just because Jake said crackdown. Like
Hey, I said a drug.
you said a game.
That's
You
like-
said
I said
you did-
crack.
No, you said crackdown.
I didn't
If
know
you
they did
said
Yeah.
crack-
painkiller. That's
The
cool.
word crack is in Crackdown.
Whatever.
I
All
love
right,
that I'm
moving on.
closer, and the two things have nothing to do with each other. But I'll take the point. All right.
Question number 3. What special armor was unlocked from playing another EA game in Dragon Age 2?
Oh, you got like Mass Effect armor in it.
Jake,
Adamant armor.
is that your final answer, Jake?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you a chance. Do we want to change that?
No.
I'm gonna have to give it to Nick because he's closer. You unlocked the Dead Space armor, Isaac Clarke's particularly.
Space baby.
Meh.
Nick, what you were thinking of was Mass Effect 2. You could unlock the Dragon Age armor.
I just had it reversed. Okay.
Yeah, pretty close. Number 4. Who makes up the Greater Korean Republic in Homefront?
North Korea, South Korea, and probably somebody else.
Central Korea.
Technically, you both got it right to an extent, but I'm gonna give it to Jake because he's closer. Technically, it's a unified North and South Korea.
That's why I said North Korea, South Korea.
Yeah,
they're
but you said
they're
and probably.
unified.
And you said and probably, but Jake said a Central Korea. So,
I'm
out of
annoyed.
technicality, Jake's closer.
I'm annoyed.
So then we have a tied game.
This is
Question-
the loosest fucking quiz that'll ever happen on this game show.
Game show.
This game
Question-
show.
Question number 5.
Fucking Steve Harveying me over here.
Name
You said what?
name the alien race in the Crisis series.
Oh, I can't do that.
The Illuminati.
Jake.
What a shitty name. Let's go with so it's gonna be the closest one to it, and if we're doing it by letters, let's go with the Keen.
Can you spell the first letter for me?
Kneed.
The Kendi?
Yes.
And Nick, you said the Illuminati.
The
correct?
Illuminati, baby.
Same spelling.
Same spelling. Kend.
I think Illuminati is like the traditional Illuminati.
You know it, baby.
Nick takes the cake. It's actually the CEP. CEPH.
With the C, that's bullshit.
All
What
right,
shitty
Jake.
game you gonna pick, Nick? What shitty game you gonna pick?
It's
Okay.
So bad.
Unique challenge. I want you to do Bulletstorm, but it's got to be from the perspective of Duke Nukem, and you have to do it in a Duke Nukem voice.
I don't have a Duke Nukem voice. You're asking so much for so little.
Well, I guess you better fucking work on that Duke Nukem voice for next
No,
week, there,
that's
buddy
not
boy.
part of the deal. You only got to pick the game, you asshat.
I'm a winner, baby. I get to pick
No,
your life.
Mm-mm. This podcast is over.
Better work on that Duke Nukem voice, baby. Better watch a bunch of Duke Nukem Let's Plays.
I'm not doing that shit.
I'm here to kick ass and shoot. I see. I can't do it. I will do a Duke Nukem voice if you do the Duke Nukem speed cap, Jake.
Which one?
You're
So-
you're doing the Bulletstorm game, but you're doing the Duke Nukem story of it.
Those are
Well, it's the same story.
It's the same story. It's just Duke Nukem.
Oh,
And he's like,
Yeah, it's
who
like-
the hell is?
Jake, literally, okay, Jake, how about this? You're just doing the Duke, or not, you're just doing the Bulletstorm story, but we're going to sprinkle in some of the phrasing that they use for Duke Nukem.
No, that's so not fair.
Yeah, it is so fair. You got 5 minutes on the clock, Jacob.
Listen to me right here, right now, on this podcast. You guys did not get any of this punishment for your speed caps. So how come,
Motherfucker, hold up. You weren't on this show.
Shit.
You weren't on this show when we were eating pickled beets. So I'm gonna have to have you back your shit up.
Josh, you didn't know what StarCraft was.
Yeah,
exactly.
Josh,
I got the shit made fun of me.
that was
all right?
really bad. That was really, really bad. The StarCraft folks are ashamed of you. They don't
even
claim you.
listen. They don't even listen
Shut
to
up, they
Blizzard.
listen. They're here.
no.
They're here. Well, yeah, they don't listen anymore because you chased them away. But Jake, just get ready for Bulletstorm in a week. And that's the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Again, thank you to Trident Network for embracing us and welcoming us into their family. Again, get us anywhere you get your podcast, rate and review us. I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter at @ThatKaufman. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube at NickFatKnight. Not streaming too much right now, but do have some YouTube videos up that are doing numbers from Iron Harvest. Thank you to that crowd. Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JakeyBoyKaufman, Twitch, and on YouTube at JakeyBoyKaufman. I haven't really done much lately. Like I said, starting a new job. I am working on some videos at the moment involving my dogs. That's cool.
Dog
Gaming
content.
and dogs, best combination ever. I also have a tournament, a Brawlhalla tournament coming up, Summers Champs, and I have a TFT league that I'm in that is hosted by Air Force Gaming, so that's cool.
Nice. And Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at I am Josh Saying. I'm not even giving Twitch a chance because I'm burnt out of that. So
Josh
we're gonna
burnt
be-
out on Twitch. It only took him a
Already?
week.
You didn't do anything.
Exactly. I will give streamers that they have the fucking tenacity to keep doing that shit. Kudos to them.
You have to keep coming. Like, people think you just hop on and play games, but you have to have the conversations ready. You have to have like some ideas of where you want what you want to do with things. It hats
It's a
off
lot
to
of
the
work.
people who can do that week in and week out because it's tough.
Josh, how often do you play games?
Every other day, just about.
Just turn on your damn camera.
I mean, the days of turning on your camera and just streaming and expecting to grow are long over. Those days are not.
That may be, but from the numbers that I've seen Josh get from the few times he's been streaming, he's gonna do something.
I do think there's a market for like a no camera, no commentary number of our people right now. I do think that because you start to see in SEO like those numbers are going up. Because people are like, I don't want to do like, hey, our friend from earlier.
Oh, but before we get to this,
No talking, no bullshit.
No credit
can't
cards, no
stand that.
bullshit.
But Joshua, fuck, I was gonna
It's
say
Josh.
It's
whatever.
just Josh.
I'm saying here.
I'm Josh saying.
But if you do happen to just turn on your camera and start streaming, just make sure whoever you're playing with is appropriate.
Well,
Great.
that much I do now.
Great end note there, Jake. Really brought it home.
Yes.
Everybody, join us next week when we do Q2 for 2011, and Jake does a speed run for Bulletstorm / Duke Nukem.
I'm not doing that.
This has been Smashing Game Time. We hope you had a smashing great time. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.